Hello, everybody.
Hi there.
Welcome back to another episode of As We Fall Asleep. I was looking to Lex to kind of chime in there, but there were just a little bit of crickets. But I was thinking, as I said that, geez, we may need to change that because we're not actually falling asleep right now.
I think it's kind of almost better to give it a different, more open-ended title. Some of our best work is, spontaneously when the thoughts occur to us, and that could be at breakfast time or dinner time or bedtime,
Could be at any time.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
That's a good point.
And we have learned with each other and doing this podcast to seize the moment, when the thoughts are really first and foremost. So I'm happy that we are taking this time right now.
Yes, so that was at your insistence because I was like, well, you can just finish, whatever you're going to do and then we'll do it later. But you said, let's do it now. So Here we are. So I guess I would start by saying I feel like we're at this time again.
Which time is that?
You're a great straight woman. I love that.
I am a foil to you, yeah.
So I feel like we're at this time where there is just an incredulous viewpoint of what's happening in our current political system.
Yes.
And I feel like there's a need for us to understand what our power is and to be in that power and to do things that are helpful just societally for the greater good.
Instead of just holding a healthy outrage and doing nothing more beyond that outrage.
Right.
Now, by all means, be outraged, of course. But
I think
next thought is then what is the positive step?
What are you doing? And that's a good point when you said positive step. So, I really started thinking about what kind of actions can I take. What actions can I take that would be in a positive way, not against something, but in a positive way for something. So what I thought about, and I don't know, is today the 15th?
I know it's Thursday.
So I'm just going to take a quick look at the calendar, but this will be important later. Maybe later being in like the next 5 minutes. I took a look at the calendar, and I've been doing a little experiment. Actually, today is the 16th. So, okay, it's not that significant. Anyway, I started this idea with the money that I seem to come across on a regular basis on the street.
Any of you that are on the Facebook know that she posts it pretty much daily, at least a penny or two, sometimes a nickel.
Sometimes a quarter. And
it's found just, spontaneously on our walks with the dog every morning.
So I decided that I was going to collect whatever I found, put it in a jar, and then just kind of decide maybe before, during, or after what I was going to do to transmute that money or transform it into something positive.
Like turning straw into gold.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Because one penny is not going to get you much, but if you have several of them in a jar, what could that add up to?
It could add up to a jawbreaker.
What could that? Who could that help? Who could that be of service to? So it's been just a little bit over a week now, and today was a really good day. And it was a walk that I've decided to do daily, and Lex has joined me on that walk.
I didn't today, but usually I go on the walk with Chris. Yes.
Yeah, it's about a 3-mile walk. And today, and I also do a little journaling, which I share with which is what I share on WordPress. But today I decided to follow what I talk about in that blog. And part of it was really listening to your intuition, being intuitive, and not questioning it. because I do think that there are times that, we have these thoughts and then we say something like, oh, that's silly. I'm just going to do what I always do. And, and then, those are the times that you look back and you say, oh, shoot, I should have done what my first thought was. Lex, do you want to weigh in on that?
Anyway, how does this, specifically go around to your day today?
Well, so anyway, I guess we'll come back to that.
I know. I mean, I'm not refuting that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But you could add.
I guess. Well, I
experience to
mean,
it.
I like that when in even just as simple as our walks. Oftentimes, especially lately, we don't have a plan of where we're going to go. We just go, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
With it without a scripted intention. I don't know if that's sort of what you're talking about.
Well, following what your feelings are.
Yeah, just in the moment.
So I decided today that on my walk, that's what I was going to do. So I did have it in my mind, just a general route, but then it was specific on the specific street that I wanted to walk down on the way back. So I found a coin on the way going, and then on the way back, I found bills. And
paper bills.
And so it was interesting to, I think, have the affirmation, for me at least, that first thing that was in my head of taking that particular street was a good street. I mean, it was a great walk, and, even if no money is found, that's great. But I'm kind of doing this experiment in which I see, what's going to come out of this experiment. How much is going to be put in this jar? What am I going to do with it? Will this have other teachings? Will this have other lessons for me? And I'm guessing that it probably will.
And so just to clarify, because I think I was confused for a minute, but now I have it. When you said this experiment started a week ago, that's what you're talking about, specifically putting the found money in a specific jar.
Yeah.
Because before that, it would just be either used, it would be on the table, or it would be in our general coin jar,
Yeah.
So a week ago, she started a very specific jar. Okay. I thought that might be helpful to our listeners because maybe they were wondering like I was.
Oh, well, you weren't really, because we had that general jar. Anywho. So, thoughts?
I just had the intuition to clarify that.
That's good.
So I went with it.
I love it. That's great. But now, what about your thoughts on following intuition versus, sometimes what's been your experience if you've said...
Well, my experience where I get tangled up often in the intuition and actually taking action intuitively is I do much better if I'm absolutely by myself, because then it doesn't. I don't have the thought of, well, but maybe that's not what they're going to do, or like I'm not considering another person in my doing an intuitive act. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like if I intuitively want to do something and somebody else is in the car with me in the passenger seat.
I don't know who you're referring to.
And I'm like, intuitively, I'm thinking, I'm going to go up to Snoqualmie Falls. And they don't really want to go for a car ride. Obviously, I am thinking, well, gee, intuitively, that's what I would do. If I were just in the car by myself, that's what I would do.
Well, then you would just drop that person off that's in the passenger seat and then continue your drive to Snoqualmie Falls.
So, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Sometimes it gets more complicated for me in my own mind, in my own neighborhood.
How about when there's nobody else but just you?
More and more I'm using my intuition or just following my intuition. I have a fairly loosely woven life right now. So I do enjoy having fun and appreciating that open-ended kind of day that I often have.
That you don't have to plan out
that I don't
to
have
the inch of its life.
Exactly. I don't have a specific client at 9:00. So
yeah, Oh, where's the wind going to blow me today?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that pleases me.
Well, thank you for sharing that place in your life at this particular time?
Oh, well, thank you for asking. I'm very excited, as I'm sure our listeners are too, is to see what comes of your jar of found money.
What will happen, indeed, we don't know.
Found resources.
But I am enjoying this journey, and I would just encourage anybody that's listening to, just take a look at it for yourself. It's not like all woo-woo stuff. I mean, maybe you might think that it is, but there is a benefit, I think, to this, and you start trusting yourself. You start trusting your instincts. And
you start going on walks more to see what's out there.
Yes, the adventure, which leads to fun sometimes. Sometimes it leads to a little bit of uncertainty. But hey, that's what happens. Yesterday I was all prepared to walk back home from my volunteer experience. And I had to phone home for a friend to get a pickup because it was raining. So intuitively, I wanted to walk both ways, but I just realistically could not do it. So I was prepared, mostly. I didn't bother with an umbrella, so not totally prepared. But anyway, you all get the gist of it. So,
I'd like to, while we have you, just tell you about one other interesting found opportunity. It was a couple of nights ago, and we went on a project after dark to rehome some bricks from a construction site, a demolition site. And so we had the car, and we got onto the demolition site. And it was dark, and Chris looked at the bricks, and it's like, I'm not so interested in the bricks. I still liked the bricks, so I was pulling out the bricks and loading them in the car when, aha, says my love. And she had found some found money.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, wasn't that fun? We went for one thing and came out with something else, but I got my bricks, and she got her money.
That's a great one.
And nobody got hurt at the demolition construction site.
Yes.
In the dark.
That's right.
Anyway,
that's a good one to remind.
That's all. We'll leave you on that sort of humorous, but true story.
Okay, everybody, stay tuned for our next podcast, and thanks for tuning in today.
Talk later. Bye.
Bye.